Hi there, it's Roy from Sulphur Sabers. The purpose of this buying advice video is to offer you an insight into some of the different saber technologies and the best application of such to ensure that you end up with the best lightsaber for your intended purpose, be it dueling, cosplay, general swinging about, or collecting. Okay, let's delve into it. First off, let's look at the different saber tech that's available on the Sulphur Sabers website. First option that you'll see, and the majority of all of our sabers, will be a RGB baselet install option. Now, an RGB baselet saber, as the name indicates, is a saber with an electronics package which has a high-powered red, green, blue color changing LED that is lensed to shine up the inside of a hollow polycarbonate blade. Therefore, your saber is illuminated thus by the LED in your saber core. The next piece of saber technology we will look at is a pixel saber, often referred to as NeoPixel as well, but NeoPixel actually being a brand name of Adafruit Industries. The terms actually become synonymous in the saber community, so when we're talking about a pixel saber, you'll often hear the word NeoPixel used as well. But we will respect the trademark and we just refer to our sabers as pixel sabers. So, a pixel saber, well, first off, let's have a look at the SN pixel saber. The SN pixel saber is a entry-level pixel soundboard, which is one of these, and electronics package, that in conjunction with a NeoPixel blade illuminates your saber. Now, a pixel blade, instead of being hollow, has a string of individually addressable LEDs that run up the length of the blade. By being individually addressable, you can use them to shine different colors, different effects, and by coding the illumination sequence, you can actually achieve some really cool blade effects on your saber. I'll show you some blade effects a little bit later. Now I'm just going to cover the basic tech. So our electronics package, instead of having a lensed LED, has a series of an SN pixel saber, or any pixel saber, has a series of springy pins in the hilt, which when the blade is inserted, marry up to a PCB, and that gives you the electrical contact to allow your saber to talk to your blade. Excuse the wrap, I'm keeping the wrap on my blades. Keeps them nice and clean. Okay, let's fire up the saber. Okay, what you may have noticed there was a scroll effect, and that's a very basic effect that you can achieve with these individual addressable LEDs. And scroll down like so. Okay, there we go. So that's an SN pixel. So the actual saber itself has a variety of different blade effects on there, sound effects that you can actually flick through, but if I was to cover that in this video, it would turn into a pretty long one. So we'll look at that a little bit later. Okay, third option that we tend to offer on the website is a Profi V2.2 install. Profis are a high-end enthusiast board that I've personally been using since almost five-ish years, as soon as they were released. It's my board of choice. It's a very programmable and customizable board, capable of a wide range of different effects. And the beauty with this board is you can flash it through a PC and configure it, your saber, exactly to your specifications. It's a very steep learning curve if you like to do it yourself. It's a service that we offer through our sister company, Sulphur City Foundry, us being Sulphur City Sabers. And like I said, we've been doing that for many years now. They are absolutely awesome boards. So now we're looking at a Profi Pixel installation instead of the SN Pixel installation. I said SN being the entry level board, Profi's being the more higher level enthusiast board. You'll see a similar connector, the pogo pins tucked away in there, and indeed you also use a pixel blade. Okay, so I'm just about to fire up the Saber here. You notice this has something called a pre-on, which is a bit of an effect before the blade fully ignites, and I'm going to use this as a bit of an indication of how you can, I said, code the Saber to run a series of different effects. Okay, so there's your pre-on, there's your ignition. Okay, what you'll notice with the Saber, because the LEDs are individually addressable, you can actually have different colours on different portions of your blade. Okay, and obviously the scroll effects on and off. Let's just jump to a different sound font. Here we have another pre-on startup, so it was glowing a little bit red at the base, like a warming up Saber, before we go to a shimmering green blade. And then a slow scroll down. Okay. And although I showed quite a basic effect with these SN Pixel Sabers, they actually are capable of some quite interesting effects. Check out a few more videos on our channel for a full overview of the SN Pixel board versus the Profi. Okay, so that's basically the three different Saber technologies that we offer. So the RGB baselet, we offer the SN Pixel, which is an entry-level Pixel Saber set of electronics, and then we offer the Profi V2.2 option as well. Now let's go and talk about the applications of such. So there tends to be three reasons that you want to buy a Saber. The first is you want to use it. We have a very active dueling community and regional meets here in New Zealand. So you may want to pop along to one of your local meets, and at the time of recording this video we have meets in Auckland, Hamilton, Rotorua, Palmerston North, Wellington, Christchurch and Dunedin. That's all driven by a non-profit volunteer community who just like getting out and about and nerding about with their Sabers. Okay, so if you want to rock up to one of these meets or get into the dueling community, we recommend using a RGB baselet Saber by containing all of the electronics within the Saber and just using a hollow blade, which is pretty much what you're using to hit your opponent's blade with. You're minimizing the risk of damage to your Saber. Okay, the next is we don't recommend NeoPixel for dueling. Many other suppliers will turn around and say yes, our NeoPixel Sabers are dual rated for dueling. Trust me, we've been doing this for 5-6 years now. NeoPixel blades will eventually prematurely fail if you duel with them. So we do not recommend, and we certainly do not warranty our Pixel Sabers if you intend to duel. If anything, you'll actually find the blade a little bit blade heavy when you're dueling. Okay, it's a bit like, you'll find it like it's swinging an axe rather than carefully swinging an elegant weapon. The pixel strips within the blades, they will tend to fail, and certainly the wires at the bottom of the PCB connected to the pixel strip will prematurely fail as well if you duel. So once again, if you're looking to duel with the Sabers or use them in a contact environment, we do not recommend, and we do not warranty our Pixel Sabers for dueling. And anyone that tells you different, take it from me, they're just trying to sell you a Saber and hope that it doesn't break. Okay, let's look at the other second reason you may want a lightsaber, and this is where the pixel stuff comes into play. So you may generally want it for cosplay and general swinging around, just because you're a Star Wars fan and you really like the idea of owning your lightsaber with a lot of blade scroll effects and fire effects on the blade and the like. So this is where NeoPixel does become an option. If you're not using it to strike an opponent's saber blade and just swing it around using it for cosplay, you want that slightly flashy ooh factor on the blade styles, then this is where you can actually expand your options from the baselit and consider NeoPixel as well. And like I said, that would be for either the SN Pixel entry-level boards or the Profi high-end boards if you wanted something a bit more customizable. Okay, and then of course we're looking at collecting and display. A lot of people within the Star Wars community, and you'll know a lot of people, they collect the Black Series figures, they collect the models, they collect the things. They like keeping them in boxes, and they just want something really cool to put on their shelf. And what's cooler than a cool little lightsaber? So the collecting and display community will more than likely want something based on a character saber, like a canonical saber, like a Luke or a Ben or any other cool characters from the screen. So that's they probably want to head towards our screen inspired section, even though this one is kind of a Revan inspired saber. That would be an option, but because of the sleek lines, we actually like to consider that for more as a really good entry level dueler. Okay, so let me just talk about the differences between, if you do want to duel, what kind of designs you want to be looking for as well. So if you're dueling, trust me, take it from me, and we've seen this a lot of times. People will say, oh, I want to duel, but I want my lightsaber to look like this particular character's. So it might be like a Graflex saber or a thin neck or something with a lot of bits sticking out that looks like their screen sabers. Now take it from me, they are very uncomfortable to wield. They are best left for display. A little control box that sticks out here will stick in your hand, even with gloves. A Graflex with little bunny ears coming out and little knobs and buttons and switches not only is very uncomfortable to wield, but you run the risk of impact damage from dueling as well. The more collectible screen inspired sabers are really designed just for display. They're not really designed for dueling. So if you are looking to duel, you want to go for something sleek, easy to handle and comfortable, something nice and simple like this. Even something like this, you're kind of getting to the upper end of what would be suitable for dueling. This I would quite happily duel with. I would make the note of the buttons kind of are raised and sit right in your choke point. So raised buttons are always a bit of a risk when you're dueling, that they're a little bit too easy to squish and accidentally activate effects or to actually turn off your saber whilst you're using it. Something like this I would consider just a bit of fun or a bit of a display model if you like the old plastic bricks. Again, this one has raised buttons, and it's also very heavy, so I wouldn't suggest something like that if you're looking to duel. But for cosplay or collecting, ideal. This one would be borderline. Dueling, my only concern with this would be that just erase buttons, which would be a potential issue, accidentally turning your saber off. But something nice and sleek like this, even though it is screen inspired, it is a Knights of the Old Republic Revan inspired saber from his Sith days. I would actually say that that would be more what you're looking for as a jeweler. And you'll notice on our site we actually have a few more dueling models, designs that you can actually choose from. Some people even like to take the cover tech off. Just that's a little belt hanger that you can put into a clip. Some people like to remove that if they're dueling as well. So the less fussy the better, trust me. Okay, so we've covered saber tech and we've covered suitability for use. One good thing about these range of affordable sabers that we're curating here on Sulphur City Sabers is they tend to come, in most cases, with swappable cores, electronics cores. So, for example, this model here we have, which is the Ghost. If I was to remove the body, you will see that we have the core, like so. Okay, what we have here is actually a swappable baselit core that we can put in there instead. So if we wanted to use the same saber for cosplay or just a little bit of flashing about, we could actually just unscrew the screw here, take the slack off the buttons, remove the core and fit an RGB baselit model instead. And that would change the dynamics of the application for your saber. So you can go and use it for dueling instead. Okay, and most of our models you will see have these, wherever you see a different version on the same model. So this one, for example, comes an RGB baselit or an SM pixel model. Both of these will have a removable core, which is simply removed by removing the retention screw, sliding the core out, or this one you have to push the button out, slide it out, slide the new core in, and this screw will locate the chassis in place and also push up and raise the button into place as well. Okay, so there are those options as well. You can just buy one saber and maybe two different kinds of cores. Bear in mind, if you buy a baselit saber and you want to buy a NeoPixel core as well for it, you also have to buy a NeoPixel blade. Okay, if you're swapping from a baselit to a NeoPixel, obviously you need to swap your blades out as well. But anyway, that's a quick overview video. I'm not going to go longer than 19 minutes. So that covers saber technology, the best saber technology for your intended use. Also looks at some of the flexibility that we have in some of these models here, i.e. being able to swap out the electronics cores. And yeah, hopefully that helps you in your buying decision. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate, drop us a line and we'll happily get back to you and steer you in towards a short list of sabers that would be suitable for your purpose. Okay, thanks very much. Bye bye.